Hello YouTube, my name is Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. In today's video, I want to talk about if you can travel and still stay in shape. This year I've worked out in, 8 or 9 different gyms, cooked in 10, 12 different kitchens consistently, yet managed to stay pretty well in shape throughout it, despite sharing with some characters of roommates throughout, and just some interesting setups, whether it's in hostels or Airbnbs. And today I just want to talk about, how much leeway you have in terms of staying in shape and being a fitness forward person, despite how much you travel. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, when it comes to traveling and lifting and eating well, sorry, I'm working out past it, so I'm a little out of breath already. When it comes to doing those three things, it can definitely be a little challenging, right? And you really have to come into terms with making sacrifices that are gonna set you up for your goals and where you wanna get in your fitness, your personal, your professional career, right? So for instance, let's talk about like an IFBB pro, like someone who has dedicated their life, basically their job, their profession, their livelihood, to being a professional bodybuilder. Are they going to be able to live like the future of work, nomadic lifestyle, remote life? Probably not. And they're well aware of that, right? There's a reason why, for instance, like Chris Bumstead, fellow Canadian, gotta respect, one of the GOATs, obviously. He moved to Florida and basically, he has like his year-round setup there, where he has a house, the same gym, he goes to like Revive, I think it's called. He has like his ice bath set up, his posing routine set up in his garage. And it's, a lot of variables are removed when he has that permanent setup. So it allows him just to not be distracted, not be, thinking about other things. He just really focuses in on his, Mr. Olympia number 4, basically. Now for me, obviously, I know I'm never gonna be Mr. Olympia or even an IFBB pro bodybuilder. It's not my priority, and I really don't think I'm good enough to do it, to be candid. So when I first got into shape and started this fitness lifestyle, let's say, and making a lot of changes around how I ate, how I trained, I got pretty obsessive with it. And a lot of my friends had commented on, I wasn't able to eat out with them during the week. I was like, I was on keto, so I wasn't even eating carbs. I was like drinking maybe once a week, binge drinking really, really hard. And I wasn't just seeing my friends, I wasn't really myself. And I'm known as someone who's very big, very energetic, very charismatic. So when I didn't have that trait, it took a lot away from my relationships. And I think I suffered like emotionally as well as like, I guess relationship-wise, let's say. And really now, my priorities, fitness is a part of my life. It's not my whole life. Now that I am working remote and seeing these cool places, I know my life, is focused around my happiness, my mental health, and then my physical health is just a component going into that. So these days, I really prioritize a healthy, sustainable workout routine. I love to work out. It makes me feel good. The endorphins of completing, I love to get a sweat on. I find like my mental clarity is better when I do exercise, and that's why I do it now. So I work out 6 days a week because I love it. And it feels great to do it. I look better because of it. I feel better because of it. So really, why wouldn't I? And my diet is very, usually pretty liberal with my diet, to be candid. Right now I'm dieting down for a vacation, so it's not as open to going out and that sort of thing. But usually I'm pretty open with it. And I think that attributes a lot to successful mental health as well. It's really about finding that balance, finding your priority, what's gonna be important to you, and what do you wanna get out of your fitness journey? Do you wanna be a fitfluencer with a Gorilla Mind sponsorship? Hey, Derek. Do you wanna just be someone who's able to have a healthy lifestyle, be able to go play sports with your friends and not be out of shape, be able to go to the beach whenever you want and look good while still maintaining emotional relationships, a career? That's what I shoot for, and that's really the goal of this channel. I want to help other people find that balance where they don't have to sacrifice their whole life, but they can still enjoy the benefits of a fitness forward existence, really. Now, with that being said, I also don't think it's really healthy to just do all the booze, all the partying, all the fun. Don't get me wrong, when I travel, I love to meet local people, go for pub crawls, go to like hostel bars and talk to people, have a couple beers, have my MacBook, do some work for either YouTube or for my, my 9 to 5. But it's always just a component of it. Right now, I'm just like truly enjoying everything day to day, from my food to my nutrition, to my supplementation, to my training, to my travel. It's all about just having fun and enjoying my day to day. So of course I'm gonna love having a couple beers. I think it's a great thing to do, but don't go too far off the deep end with that. You know, understand your priorities, what you wanna get out of life. Are you looking to start remote work? Then maybe you need to spend a few hours a week on LinkedIn, networking, building your resume, doing like, you know, AWS certifications, Google certifications, something like that to get more experience and get your foot in the door. So, you know, really understanding your priority list. So one of my things my mom always does is build like a pros and cons of each decision she's gonna make. And I think there's some actual truth to it. Doing things that way, understanding where you wanna go, what you wanna spend your time doing. For me, you know, to retrospectively, I guess, reflect on some things I've done in the past. I used to be like a very, very hardcore gamer, like tens of thousands of hours in World of Warcraft. Missed those days, had a lot of good time doing it. But as I got into like my mid 20s, I started to realize it wasn't serving my long-term goals. You know, right now I want to be successful in my career and also start working on these sort of side, I don't like the word side hustle, but I like to say just like other things I'm doing that I'm having fun doing and helping other people and serving other people that can hopefully one day sustain myself where I can only, you know, do this and travel the world and meet people and do all that. I love my job, it's a lot of fun, but that's what I'm working on. So always be thinking, you know, what do you want to get out of life? For me, it was no more World of Warcraft, spend that time learning Spanish, spend that time practicing editing and YouTube and creating content and being more involved with my community and just being more present in my day-to-day. So that was a distraction. I decided to, you know, sunk cost fallacy. I know I spent a lot of time doing it, had a lot of fun doing it, but it was something I had to cut off. So really, you know, take a look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Are all of those hobbies or things you're doing serving you, or are they, you know, leading you astray? That's something only you can answer. The final piece to really understanding this is evaluating where you want to live, right? So we talk about remote work, travel, balancing all of this. Do you want to have a home base and spend a few weeks / months of the year traveling around? Or do you want to do what I've done and pretty much give up your home base and not really have a home for a little while, which is exciting, but also a little nerve-wracking for some people. Generally, I would say if you've never done this sort of thing, having a home base where you know you can go back to and be consistent, that's great. That's why I love this sort of home gym setup I have with my mom. So I'm very fortunate to have it, as I can always go back to it and start fresh if I ever need that reset. But that's the end of this video. Hope this was somewhat informative. I'm gonna keep trying to get better at this, as I'm still very new to understanding what sort of content is gonna be good for everyone. But with that being said, thank you very much for watching. If you find this video helpful, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.